So 6 months ago, I had like this little tiny life change happen. Okay, so I guess it's like maybe one of the biggest life changes that you have as a person in the world. I became a mom, and that's like a weird identity shift because I hear the word mom and I don't think of myself. I think of my mom. How could I be a mom? But I made this. I made this little thing. So I guess I'm a mom now. And I am just like overwhelmed with an abundant amount of creativity. All I want to do is create. I want to make movies. I want to do art. I just want to do all of these things. You know, I have a lot more downtime because I'm just taking care of the baby and I'm staying home with her, and we were on bed rest for 3 weeks after I gave birth. And all that to say, my husband, being the best that he is, encouraged me, well, let's go get an iPad. What? An iPad? And I said out loud, only rich kids have iPads. And he really had to tell me, like, talk me into this idea of, like, let's go buy one, let's invest in it, because then you can do digital art. Now, please don't hate me, digital artists. I don't mean any hate or shame. I had this impression that digital art is, like, fake. It is less than traditional art. It is inferior. Whatever. I had this like stigma in my mind about digital art because I've seen a lot of artists just like take a photo and put it as the base layer and then just trace it. And to me,
that's cheating.
And you're pretending to be an artist when you're not. And I see it all the time. And so I had this impression that that's what digital art was. Boy, was I wrong. First of all, I just don't trace because I don't trace. And so just like traditional art, you can trace if you want. Why is digital art any different? I opened Procreate, which is what I've been using. I'm curious about Photoshop, but that's a whole different side tangent. I opened Procreate and I actually cried. I was so emotional. Granted, I had also just had a baby 2 weeks prior, but I was so emotional as I was drawing and practicing for the first time and figuring Procreate out because whoa, I think I just found my medium. It was so like inherently easy for me. I was just messing with the different brushes and blending and the color palette, and I mean, you treat it just like you would a sketchbook, but it has so many advantages. You know, if you draw something and you mess up, you erase it clean slate. You didn't dent or ruin the paper. Your painting, same thing, right? Like, oh, you miss your mark? Well, you can just erase it and you don't have to worry about like ruining the canvas. And I know for a lot of traditional artists, that's probably like, blah, blah, I don't know. There's like a pretension that I used to have about traditional art. But to be honest, I really enjoy it. I have just been loving it. I've been having a wonderful time. And the other thing that I'm developing too is my illustration style. I'm going to get into this in so many other videos, but illustrating is something that I've always been curious about and I've always wanted to do. For a long time when I was a kid, I just constantly was doodling and I thought maybe I was going to be a children's book illustrator. My mom wrote beautiful, adorable, hilarious children's poetry. And it's been a lifelong dream to illustrate the poetry and get it published. Well, my mom always had this dream. She sent it into publishers, I think, when I was young and just didn't hear back, you know, as it happens. And then she died when I was 15. And so she didn't get to publish her work. And so for my family, it's always been this dream and this ambition to fulfill that for her. And I, seeing as I have the artist skill, have always known that I have to be the one to illustrate it. However, as a charcoal and acrylic artist, a lot of my work for most of my life has been kind of like intense and dramatic and whatever. And I've never really developed a style. I didn't really even know how to go about that. And as I explored Procreate and doing digital art, I realized how easy it is to develop a style because when you use, you know, the same 5 brushes, so you give all your work the same textures, when you develop a color palette and you're using, you know, the same 20 shades of colors for all of your work, more than anything, that is kind of what presents a bit of a style. Now, that's a whole other side tangent and video, but it's something that I've been working on as I'm developing this illustration style in Procreate. Now, my big goal for 2025, it's currently February, it's Valentine's Day, thus the red dress, is that I am illustrating the first of my mom's books, and my deadline is March 31st to have the first book completely illustrated and done and ready to publish. Now, it also just so happens, again, like this is a God-given thing, that my sister is an author, and so she has all of this experience writing books and publishing and self-publishing, and has years of experience doing so, and so she's gonna help me to publish the book, and it is this whole family ordeal that we're all working on together, which is just beautiful. And I think that's my toe. I think it just honors my mom and her memory so much more that we all get to work on this together. So that's what I'm working on right now. More or less, I wanted to make this video to say that as a traditional artist, you can do digital art and you can also do both. I just did a painting a month and a half ago. Just because I'm doing digital art now doesn't mean that like I'm done with traditional art. But I will say, as a mom, it's so much easier. I spend half my day here playing with her, holding her, doing chores, nursing, pumping, which are all things that like occupy me and my space. And so to get out all my acrylic paints and a canvas and water and a palette is just like more of a pain than it is beneficial for me in this stage in my life as a brand new mom with a brand new baby, let alone, it's a little dangerous to have paints around and supplies that she can get into. Look at how good she is at standing. You are getting so good at standing. Are you showing off for the camera? Say what's up. I'm standing. It is so convenient to just be able to hop on an iPad, and I have paintbrushes and pencils, and I don't have to get out a huge canvas. I can literally, like, a lot of the time I'm nursing her and also working on my iPad. She can fall asleep in my lap and I can be working on my iPad, and I don't have to go like sit at a specific desk. Not only that, but we have a small apartment, and so the only space that I do paint is at our breakfast dining table. But then of course, when a painting takes the course of many days, sometimes weeks, and it's just set up there, it's just a mess to constantly look at, and we can't use my dining table, and I feel weird having guests over and I have to clean it all up, but it's a wet painting and blah, 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 blah. You get it. Like when you don't have a studio space, when you don't have a desk to work at, then it definitely becomes more of a challenge. So all in all, having an iPad has been like the most convenient thing. Not only that with baby life, but I personally, since I work from home already and I'm at home with the baby all day, my like big escape that I love is to go to a coffee shop. I love going and sitting and, kind of people watching. So cool now that before when I was doing paint commissions, there's no way that I... Exactly. There's no way that I can take all my art supplies to the coffee shop, except for maybe like a sketchbook, if I'm just drawing. But if I'm doing a big painting, I can't like up and move that. An iPad I can take everywhere. I can travel with it. I can work on it on road trips in the car. It is just like this whole new freedom that I've never experienced before as an artist. I really enjoy it. Maybe Procreate, maybe digital art is not for everybody. I will always love actually painting using charcoal, but I am seriously enthralled with digital art and using Procreate. And I wanted to hear your opinions. If you're a traditional or a digital artist, let me know in the comments what you think of either or and what your experience has been like maybe converting between the two. I would really like to hear if someone started as a digital artist and then became a traditional artist. I don't think I've ever met someone who's done that kind of thing. My name's Haley. I'm a traditional and digital artist, currently developing my style in illustration. Like this if you like it. Subscribe for more, because I'm gonna do more videos in the future about art and creative life and filmmaking and being a mom. And thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day and make art. Say bye-bye. Say bye.